Okay, we are back with round 3, screen saying, and we were talking about those remakes being which ones are better than the original.
Yeah. And we were segueing to we were talking about miniseries. Those of you that know horror miniseries probably know where I'm going with this. That's right. We're going to talk about It. Stephen King's It. Now, I have seen the films, and I grew up with the miniseries, so I can say a lot of good and bad things about both.
Yeah.
But all in all, I was pleased with both. Now, I've read the book. That was actually one of the first Stephen King books I read all the way through.
That took me forever to read that damn book.
My stepfather has it, so I had a chance to read it a couple times.
I had to read that thing in like seasons.
It was actually one of my favorite books that he had in his collection. So that and Hideaway, but
I didn't like Hideaway.
the silver the book.
I didn't like. I saw the film you're talking about. Was that Hideaway? Dean Arkins?
Yes.
Yeah. Middle finger. Sorry.
I mean, Jeff Goldblum and Stanley Soapstone were awesome, but now it was a very strange film. And
Jeff Goldblum's awesome in everything.
well, it didn't follow the book very well.
No.
But if you want to get technical, the It
Left out a lot of stuff.
And
And it had to leave out a lot of stuff.
but then the It movie added those stuff back in with a twist, taking place in the 1980s instead of taking place in the 50s.
Good sea shop.
But I was born in 1983, which tells you how old I am. So there were things about that I really, really loved. So, anyways, what's getting into?
Better or worse? The sequel with Skarsgård, his
Skarsgård,
or the Tim Curry pick. No, let me start by saying this.
who made the other Pennywise?
We already know. Okay? We're on the same page. Hey, Bill, no disrespect if you even hear this. He was great.
And he was close. But can you really beat Tim Curry? I mean, dude, like, we can do an entire topic of Tim Curry films because he was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was in Clue. He was in Home Alone. He was in Conga.
He dominates. You know what? Here's the thing.
He does.
I'll put it like this.
He was a fantastic actor.
The remake was a better movie than the original. But Tim Curry's was a better Pennywise than everybody. Like just he completely shut the place down.
I mean,
And we're going to talk about Pennywise.
yeah, he was Lord Darkness not Lord Darkness, but he was Darkness the Legend.
Yeah.
I mean,
The guys, he's
Once you go, what's our other top? Those of you listening, we were actually talking about doing a sword and sorcery discussion.
that one's going to be fun.
It is because we both grew up in the 80s.
Oh yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons, the Choose Your Own Adventures, all that stuff.
But we'll save that for another time. So we poor people who might not be interested in hearing these.
So okay, let's break down the and this is going to be the last one that we cover. So we're going to be analytical about this. Okay,
It's fair.
the original It, based on the book, Tim Curry, miniseries. I love that series. Okay,
It too. It was made for TV, and so it was very sensitive, but it was effective. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about.
I like the kids in it.
I did it too. I mean, all the characters in it were great, even the adults.
I saw them in me, when because I lived that lifestyle where you're riding your bike and you're out with your friends.
And it's actually funny you say that because you remember Stand By Me?
Oh yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like a little horror version of Stand By Me.
And same thing with Sometimes They Come Back, which is another Stephen King.
I remember that.
Say what you will about Stephen King films, but films like that, with these children in the 50s,
Yep.
the continuity was just, it was astounding. It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the films were a total package, but for some people. But I think it was it was really effective. It definitely, all of this,
That first half was really effective for me.
all these films really captured my vibe.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they felt connected.
You know,
They did. They just did.
I think the thing that I liked the most about the original is you could feel how terrified those kids were. Yeah, how on their own they were. And, you know, like the Beverly character, because she lives with the monster, so she can't talk to a monster about the monster that she sees.
Well, coming from the family of the background of abuse, I can definitely, I can relate to her in a lot of ways.
Having nobody to go to at that moment. That was played beautifully. Well, and you know, the one thing that I will say, it wasn't a paint by numbers. You know, you get a group of kids. Because nowadays in horror movies, I can't tell you who the hell anybody was. I just know. Would you say the last person standing? That's all I know.
Basically, I mean, like the final girl.
Yeah, right.
Or in
The last guy in the movie, you remember their personality. But that group, I mean, Eddie, the inhaler sickly all the time. Okay, now I relate to Ed. I remember, because I had asthma, okay?
So I.
And I'm not the healthiest person now. I mean, you know, you've seen me pretty much fall apart and then rebuild and then fall apart and all that other stuff. So I related to Eddie's character. Mike, the black guy, he was completely displaced and needed some place to be, and you felt that. And when they took him in, he felt like he never stuck out like a sore thumb.
You know what's interesting about the Mike character? Yeah. He was not the most knowledge, and he ends up staying in Derry and working at a library, the house knowledge.
He ends up being the beacon, the watchman, the lighthouse watchman for the, what is it, the Lucky Seven, that they call it themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Losers Club.
Losers Club. And let's see, who else was there? There was Stan.
Stan, who was very logical, all the Jew, very logical, always a logical brain.
Last person to realize what was going on. But take seven. He knew what was going on, but he was the last person to accept.
The irony was, when he realized what was going on, he was the only one who clean belts back from.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, he went to that one place to where he despaired so bad. So when he died, I felt it. Yeah, I felt it. I felt it.
Of course, even if he lost their brain, he could not bounce back from it.
So we're agreeing that even though it's a made-for-TV movie, it had characters that were good enough to carry.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The first half of that, when you see the Sand character just adult and you see him cut his wrist, that was scary.
Yeah.
When you see it in the bathroom, when you're a kid, you see that, you don't know what the hell is going on.
Boy, and that wasn't supposed to happen, because if we're talking about the Losers Club, I'm thinking, if I had never read the book, I'd be thinking, okay, well, they're all going to come back. He never came back. Yeah. So I felt some kind of way. I'm like, okay, well, if there's not 7 of them, how are they going to get the job done?
No, man, I actually saw the miniseries before I read the book.
Did you?
Well, I mean, remember, I was born in 1983, so the miniseries came out, 1990?
Yeah.
Right after, was it after the book came out? It came out in 88, 89.
Book was earlier than that. I'd have to look. Yeah, I think
I'd have to look too.
A lot of his best work,
it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the late 80s. But I didn't see the miniseries of probably until 1993 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, so it took a while for you to see. That but yeah, that was a hell of a way to end that first set.
Yeah,
for real.
And them beating Pennywise, I mean that you know, the fight where, you know, she had the slingshot, she did, you know, she's
why in the States.
I think what Tim Curry did for that movie was he made a gleefully terrifying character. Okay, not since Art the Clown have we had.
I would even argue that he was more terrifying than Art the Clown. So Art the Clown, he's disturbing the fact the way he does is gruesome, but there's something just funny. He's a skipping jackass. Whereas the Tim Curry Pennywise
is 100 million old
unpredictable
thing. Yeah,
I mean, he could be having calculated. He's got the demon fangs, and he's just like you don't know.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
Now, if we're gonna talk about, you know, with the good with the bad, and there is some bad with this.
There is.
And I think the ending, the second half of it, I think the characters were great. I was glad when they all got back together. It was kind of hard seeing people that were from TV shows that I used to watch. Like, the guy from Night Court. I'm like, I can't really get into this. I think the kids' half was stronger. I think we can agree that was...
I don't know if they might still listen to this, and like...
Oh, yeah, man. But we're talking some ancient history.
Yeah, we're talking about the 80s.
Yeah.
Damn, this is probably about low yellows.
The special effects, even for the time, it worked.
You're right.
I had a problem with
the Chinese restaurant scene.
Well, no, I was cool with that. The little practical effects with the chicken and all that coming out of the fortune cookie.
Wasn't the spider?
The spider bothered.
Because the stop motion?
Well, it bothered me. The stop motion was scarier than the actual thing, because I don't like stop motion. Stop motion scares the crap out of us.
It's the parts of the castle that's they use.
The practical effects, and there wasn't an explanation for what this thing was. It just seemed so random. Now I'm going to start picking it apart.
There was just very brief right before where he talked about how to feed it has to take a physical form. Now, in the book, they actually agreed in more detail that
it was from another planet.
It takes the form. It's an answer. It's a interdimensional being.
Yeah.
And when it takes physical form, it takes physical form only in the way that your mind can most closely represent it, which would be like a giant spider.
Yeah. So the minds all agreed on the clown, and then their minds all agreed that this thing is a spider.
But the being itself, it's the dead lights that it's offering about. Like it doesn't have an actual physical form of its own. It's a spiritual being in a lot of ways. And I think most of Stephen King's antagonists are, but I like they have to take a physical form.
And I like that the spider did adhere to the rules of a spider. I mean, it couldn't do anything outside of the realm of what a giant spider would do.
Well, a lot of Stephen King's characters had to adhere to the laws of physics, and as well as other types of laws, like laws of gravity, to a degree, of course, all that. So when it takes a physical form, it must therefore adhere to the laws of physics.
Yeah.
Which involves the rabbit. Which involves ball of gold.
Yeah.
To a degree, of course.
I can respect that, because otherwise how else would you beat it?
Right.
Now, which brings me to when they beat it. They essentially beat the crap out of this thing. They beat the shit out of it.
Crap out of it, and they were guitar.
Yeah, they felt like... They punched the thing. Let's put this in perspective for people that might not have seen this. They punched him to death.
Basically, yes.
6 people.
And then they all 6 of them licked the tar out.
Yeah, they beat him up like somebody being jumped on the streets.
Now, you don't actually see the art until like the very end.
So the shadow, when they pull it out.
Well, when they sit down, you catch a quick glimpse of it because, again, it's a miniseries made for TV, so they can't show TV.
Yeah, they can't go all out. But they literally...
Yeah,
beat him up. Like,
it's an old school gang beatdown.
It's a lynching.
The hilarious part was like right when we go up to it, man, knocking on stuff. It's like we have a bunch of like angry people like flipping cars in, right?
So when they were saying interdimensional, if you say interdimensional being, it's like
I think that's what it was supposed to be, but it had to take a physical form.
It's like, is that all you have?
After he shot with silver in the abdomen and the eye area, I guess so.
They got shot in the head. He got cracked upside the skull. That light
didn't do anything.
Yeah. You know about the spider
form. Yeah,
it was spider
form. Not.
Yeah, but it
It's fine.
Yeah, that. Oh, it's really. So how did Pennywise die? He got beat up.
He was all men. It's ridiculous.
It is.
She could play. It was there. It's feeding his spoke back then.
Major spoiler alert. Pennywise was beaten to death by 6 people. 5 guys and a little age keeper. Yeah, 5 guys and a woman beat up Pennywise. Yeah.
It could happen.
You live for billions of years only to get beat up by 5 unathletic men and 1 woman.
It lives for billions of years spiritually. Physically, live for like maybe 200 or 300 years.
Yeah, well, it ran off on the wrong crew. It got dealt with. And moving on to the second year.
All right, so we did hit the movie, chapter 1 and chapter 2.
Yeah.
Again, I was born in the 80s, so a lot of the 80s references, yeah, they're bigger with that film. Yeah. I understood. I mean,
I did too.
the rock fight with Anthrax playing Antisocial, yeah. I jumped up. I love that.
It made sense to set the scene.
To me, I mean, as I said in a previously, Head and Middle, I love that.
It made the scene.
It followed the books more closer than the miniseries in a lot of ways. For example, in the miniseries, they go straight into the sewer system.
Yeah.
That's not what happens in the books. In the books, it's actually through that house.
That house.
In the miniseries, you only see that house once.
The house played a bigger role in the
book and the movie. Because
Yeah.
in the book, the house was the entryway to its lair.
Yep.
In the movie, the house is the entryway to its lair. Still goes into the sewer system to a degree, but not like it did in the miniseries. In the miniseries, I don't know why they decided to go for that. Maybe it had to do with budget. Maybe that's where they could shoot. Which is very practical when you're trying to make a film.
It could have been budget. I don't know.
I don't know either. But it followed the book better in a lot of ways. It's taking place in the 80s. That was a huge chance for them to take because when they're kids, it takes place in the 50s.
I think it would have been scarier if they had done this in the 50s. I don't know why.
Obviously, the reason they did that is so it'd be relevant to people that were fans of the book, fans of the movie. Now, people that are fans of the book, fans of the movie, I mean, they were 70s, 80s kids.
Yeah.
So they were trying to appeal to an older audience, more so than
And the younger go.
But then again,
The younger audience isn't going to care either way.
Right.
They had read the book.
past characters, like the characters in past, were meant to appeal more to people of an older generation.
Yeah.
As they aged, taking place in 2000s, it was supposed to appeal to the current generation.
Yeah.
So
That might have been a smart move.
it probably was.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't follow the book tremendously because of that, but it probably was a harmony.
Well, you know, it's also the case of having the essence of the book. It's like, okay, so we can't do the book exactly, but can we capture the essence of what made those scenes from the book great? Well, let's say if we can capture the essence. Can't capture the real thing. It's like vanilla extract as opposed to just pure vanilla. We'll get a ball walk. That works.
I mean, there's supposed to substitute for pure vanilla, you know what I'm saying? I thought it should fit up from that. So, like, now, as far as Bill Skarsgård, I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry, I can't.
It's Skarsgård. The old Skarsgård, yeah.
I think he did well
Yeah.
for what he did. He wasn't disturbing any guys.
Did you notice that eye that went to the other side? Like,
Yes.
yeah, man, that bothered me. I'm like, you are completely... But the thing is this.
He was more of a disturbing Pennywise. The thing is,
What kid would go to that thing? You know what I mean? What kid? I don't care. Georgie,
he would scare the shit out
I'd have ran.
Okay, yeah.
Like your eyes to the wall.
He's just not friendly like Tim Curry's Pennywise. Tim Curry's Pennywise used manipulation tactics like victims. The book worked.
Like the book?
Like the book.
This thing,
He appeared to me. If you took the music out for the Pennywise scenes,
yeah.
he would appear to be a friendly fun.
Hanging out with Ronald McDonald, you know?
Ugh. Serious thought. Anyways. The Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise,
Yeah.
serving from Starfire. One kid would actually go to that. If I was a 5-year-old child and I saw that and it's mannerisms, there's no way in hell I'd walk up to that thing. No way in hell.
And I think that...
I know something was off.
But, you know, here's my thing. We're thinking about now. In the
See, I'm thinking about myself at 5. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I would have known even back then. I was like, okay,
the eye doesn't mean it, but the eye going to the left and the other one looking straight at you, then yeah, I would have probably, said, okay. At the very least, there were like handicapped kids in class that I was scared of because they looked different, looked strange to me.
It wasn't even that. It was the mannerisms of the military guard clown.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, the weird stares and things like that.
The drool. He did the
drool, weird stare. I mean, it was predatory.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The drool would have done it. That's the dead giveaway that something's not happening.
But that's the difference between the Tim Curry version and the Bill version.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Skarsgård version.
There was one thing about Tim Curry that disturbed me, but you would have to really be thinking. Did you ever notice that Pennywise the Clown's eyes were always bloodshot? That messed with me.
I actually never...
Go back and watch it. This dude's eyes, when he's like, they float down here, George, when he said that, and they pulled him down there, yeah, my man's eyes were bloodshot. Okay? He looked like he had a couple of rounds of cognac, okay? Checking it out now.
I ain't.
Yeah, watch the scene.
I'm not watching the scene. I'm looking for pictures. Man, that's something that's during that drug. He's enough to words and look for either.
Well, it's the gutter. You got to see it. The gutter scene in motion. Yeah, he's like, they float down here, and his eyes were, they were blood red. They were floating blood red. They're bloodshot.
Sadly, I have to Google they flow.
Well, while you're Googling that,
I see something.
The other thing about the Skarsgård,
I mean, I don't know that they're one shot, but
you have to see it. I'm telling you.
Even then, let's be real. Was a fucking found in the sewers.
I guess we have.
Why would he go fuck it to the It's just setting.
I saw a cat in the sewer one time, meowing, and I felt uncomfortable. And it's just a cat. I didn't go down there and get it. I was like, no, I'm not. Yeah, there's absolutely no way. But I will say this: Georgie's death in the movie, I felt it more than Georgie's death in the series.
It's because they actually show what happened, and
we saw it. Ben was
more in film. Whenever you see a child die, it's disturbing. It's I mean, remember Mimic?
You talking about with
the big giant cockroaches?
The big giant cockroaches, yeah.
Like we see those kids get killed in the subway. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Dr. Sleep was like that. The kid that died, the baseball player in the beginning, that was disturbing what happened to that kid.
I don't think it seemed like it was so
recommended. It's not highly recommended, but I give it a thumbs up for what it attempted to do. It tied the strings together for the Stephen King the book, the Shining the book, and the movie. It tied it together in a way that worked, and I didn't know how they were going to do it.
All right.
Direct sequel to The Shining. That's a whole other thing. When you see it, we're going to hit it up for a review. Man, I think they went over the top with it on certain special effects.
They died.
I mean,
I liked them.
We're talking about the first iteration. I mean, the movie came out late 2018, 17.
I think it's 2018, 2017. So like,
I mean, you get the years mixed up, but it makes sense that they're trying to go top of special effects.
But I want the creep factor. The first movie I think was better than the first. Chapter 1 was better than Chapter 2.
I thought it was too.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene in Chapter 2 was the old woman when she walked by naked. When Bev was in the house with her.
Is that Chapter 1 or Chapter 2?
I think that was Chapter 1. Was that Chapter 2 or
Actually, that particular scene is Chapter 2.
Okay, well that one, that was great. That was fun to see.
No.
But I can't, after a while, the whole horrifying dancing clown's head would not move with its body, and it was like, okay, we get it. We get what you are.
You're a creature of supernatural.
And they kept beating it through your head. You're a creature of supernatural abilities. You're a creature, But Tim Curry's, I kept finding myself being like, he's all right, and then he would do something horrific, and I'm like, no, he's not all right.
Yeah, the things
you're like, Yes, all right. And they float down here. It was so gleeful when he said it.
When he said it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was some people. Now, he's saying the books too, and obviously the movie, but something about the way Tim Curry delivered the line.
And the fact that he didn't contort his body or show any signs of being abnormal. When he would grab the kids, I mean, he literally was in the body of a clown.
Yeah.
You know, he couldn't.
A ridiculously looking fight.
That's how he chose to kill, but he was also limited in the ways that a man who's a clown is limited. He's essentially a serial killer, killing up a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
A supernatural. That's terrifying to me. Whereas this alien, it's like, okay, you really can't hide because you're an alien dressed as a clown. You can't hide. You look like an alien. So that kind of took me out of the movie. And, you know, we're nitpicking a great movie. Both of them are great for different reasons.
Well, that's why you have me on the air. Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I need to take this. Now, I like both for what they are.
The ending? What about the endings? Which one do you prefer?
Yeah. See, right. Honestly,
I mean, death scenes and Pennywise, completely different things. But the ending, though.
You felt the movie ending more than the miniseries ending.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that. You felt that more of it. I felt like there was more involved than this series. And, I mean, different time periods, different budgets, different technologies adds into that.
So it was, we keep giving kudos. We're giving kudos to the merits of the remake of the original miniseries.
Yeah.
So are we coming to the conclusion that it's a better movie, but Pennywise was just, or Tim Curry was just a better actor that if nobody else was in the movie, we'd have watched a.
Oh, see, and you were saying,
yeah. So which one is it? Is it a better movie or is Tim Curry just saying?
It's Tim Curry and badass.
And that's what it is. You think that's what it is?
No ifs or buts about the death. The 1950s was a great setting as you look. There's one better than the other.
As a movie, not just the character, but the entire thing.
Well, I will say that the miniseries was watered down due to being a made-for-TV movie. And so, because of that, there were certain limitations placed upon.
Is it even a fair?
It's really because the movie was more no holds barred.
Yeah.
Miniseries had limitations placed upon it because they're trying to release it for TV to be played on whatever late afternoon, evening, channel.
Yeah.
Back in those days.
It was ABC, I think. I think it aired on ABC. Or
ABC, USA, Syria, Verima, bunch of others.
Yeah.
I know. So, did they do a good job with the massive deal, the miniseries?
Yeah.
Yes. Was it better? If it didn't have the limitations placed upon it, it would be really interesting to see what they could have done with it.
All right, so if you had to take a DVD home, and we'll close it out with this. If you had to take a DVD home of it, are you taking the miniseries with the invincible Tim Curry, or are you taking the movie with an absolutely superior budget and presentation? Which one do you go with?
For the record, you're an asshole for asking this question. You know what?
You got to go home with one. Got to leave one.
Even though it was a made-for-TV movie,
Yep.
I think it did exactly what it was meant to do. It was scary.
Yep.
With all those limitations placed on it. As much as I like did Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, the films.
Yep.
And the whole 80s scenery. Maybe it's because I'm older. I'm probably going to have to go with the miniseries because they did more with less, which goes back to what I was saying in previous topics about you don't need a huge budget to make a great film. Yeah. You can actually make your limitations work for you. And they did.
So I'm going to shock you.
You're going to take a movie's work.
I'm not taking the movie. I am taking the miniseries.
It's not gonna shock me because I thought you felt the same too. It goes back to what I said.
That movie made me feel the same, well, a similar way as one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations.
With limitations.
With limitations. It felt like Stand By Me. When those kids were together, I saw myself in the summer and with my friends. The other one, I saw it too, but the first one beat it to the punch. So it was just reinforcing what had already been said. So yeah, I gotta go with the Tim Curry version. Yeah, that's nostalgia right there, and it's also a good piece with what they could do. You know, it was good with what they had on budget.
It is. Same thing with Halloween.
No.
The original Halloween.
I will go with the original Halloween.
It was what, college song?
Yeah.
No, they don't need a huge budget to make a great film. A imagination, a new great characters, a decent setting. And the rest will work itself out. The rest will work itself out as well. I mean, in all honesty, when you put too much thought in something, that's usually when you lose focus.
Yeah. And on that note, we're going to tab out. And, hey, if you like what you're hearing, share, like, and subscribe. And this is your guy, The Brave Artist. And I got Nick, who's going to be the regular with me. So be looking for some new episodes of Screen Saying. And
the Fester with a pen.
Yes, sir. Till the next time, you guys take care.
Screen Say. Bitches.
You know...